Society should support the veteran, and it goes back to commitment. And commitment is rare.
And a lot of people don't understand that sometimes when you come back, you don't have support. You don't have family and friends, and you have to rely on others.
So what we want to do is to give them the tools that they need to realize a new purpose in life.
And this is a starting point, really, not an end point. It goes out from here and it resonates. It strengthens families, it builds communities. There are a certain number of individuals that we can touch directly, but the number of lives we can change indirectly, there's no limit to that.
So July 29, 2009, kind of where all the story begins. I was back from Iraq for a couple of years, dealing with a lot of stuff that I had no clue about. I had a completely dissociative event, so I ended up trying to breach some doors in my apartment complex with a rifle. Of course, the police were called, showed up. It ended up, they fired 14 rounds at me, was taken into custody, spent 8 months in Ada County Jail. That's where I made the decision to rebuild my life and find a new purpose. But it's not about just earning that piece of paper. It's about why am I earning that piece of paper?
As a result of establishing a relationship with George Nickel about 10 years ago, not only has law enforcement benefited by his contributions, but also his community, other states, and the veteran population as well. George shared his story numerous times, and it's an incredible story. It's a humble story for him to stand up there and have to go through that.
George brought to light what the recovery process is like. We may hear about things in the media or in movies, yet this happened locally. George openly shared not only his struggles, yet also his recovery, and was very vulnerable, not only with the community, yet with the veteran population.
Well, it was kind of a straight connection between things I've went through to where I am now. I knew I couldn't serve in the military anymore. I knew I still wanted to help, service members, veterans. We're not just, like single-focused beings. We have a whole system around us we got to take into consideration. I feel it most when I talk to veterans who've come back to me and say, you know what, I saw you talking at an event, you told your story, and that motivated me to go out and get the help I needed. Really helped me be more aware of being part of a bigger picture. It's amazing the transformation you can see on that big timeline.
He created the conversation. Lives have been changed just by George's impact on the community.
First off, when James started with Wyakin, he was in an academic curricula and didn't work as well as we would like.
I didn't even really know I had a directive towards a degree. It was knowledge without application. What are you gonna do with that? I didn't have much direction with school until I started talking with people who did at Wyakin. And that's why I liked the program, because they didn't push a directive on me. It was completely me who wanted to do it. It was them opening doors and facilitating my own personal needs. It's not just mentoring, it's a guidance system that I've learned to heavily utilize.
I remember James calling me on the phone. He goes, man, it's the greatest thing ever. They've got a welding program at CWI, man, that sounds just like me. I love forging stuff out of steel.
I thought a trade would be more beneficial than any degree that you can walk out of a school with, because immediately I can go to work the next day, and it has to do with constructing foundations. I raise steel, and I'm an iron worker now, and so with column 1, bolt 1, you're creating a solid foundation. That's what doing ironwork for me is. It's built another camaraderie that's similar. You develop these trusts by working hard together. I work with some pretty hard dudes. Ironwork is probably the hardest job that you can have besides being a Marine. I don't think about anything else when I'm dropping that hood and laying that bead. It's become something of a meditation for me. Very few things in life give me that same satisfaction. It's not just work for me. Work is secondary. I'm creating something. I'm prepared to slay that dragon up on the steel.
That excitement about that program moved James forward because now all of a sudden he had something new to talk about. It was now he sees his future in this, and that really brought him to life in a lot of ways. James has the ability to say yes. If you commit to something, you're going to see it through.
There's a crucial amount of time, especially when you're a young man or woman. You decide to make that sacrifice, and then you come back to the community, and there's that transition that you need to make. It's programs like Wyakin and the community itself. They're ultimately responsible for how we can fit in with them and how we can work together and how we can move ahead in life, helping us find that gainful employment so we can make our community better together.
My name is John Olson. I was a combat infantryman. So when I came home in 2009, it wasn't the same as being with the military. I was always watching people, watching what was going on, looking around everywhere.
I got thrown into the military life when I married John. And so we could not even go to a restaurant and have a meal without him having to pick the specific table we sat at. And then we had to wait, and he had to decide which side of the table to sit on. And it really comes from his time serving in Iraq.
I think my attempts to explain what was going on were probably self-sabotage.
They fight there to get home, and then they have another fight when they come home.
One thing that we're taught in the military, especially infantrymen, that we don't ever back down, we don't ever ask for help.
So we've really worked on ways to deal with that PTSD. It's gotten much better, but it's something I don't think will ever go away.
Wyakin has taught me not being afraid to ask for help. They don't say, well, a mistake happened, you need to go and try to figure it out on your own. Wyakin has a lifelong commitment to the warrior themselves and their family.
What I see with John Olson is someone who a couple years ago was almost a defeated man, who now is confident, smiling, healthy. His family is happy. We all join the military because we have a service ethos. We want to serve. That's part of who we are. What we try to do is tap into that service ethos and have them give back again, so that renews the trend, the ethos they have inside of them.
John really struggled, and he was doing really, really well. But what we figured out was he was doing all these things to hide from what was going on, and that never works. And so Wyakin supported me and allowed me to be able to support him. A couple people in Wyakin really reached out to me, and they said, "You're a veteran's wife. You are a military wife." And so all of the things that our family was going through was his fight to have him home. Wyakin wrapped their arms around our family and reminded us that John isn't the first veteran who has had these issues readjusting, and he now knows he can trust me, and I understand more because he's finally opened up about the things that went on and the things he experienced.
They made me feel more like I was their family and not just a warrior.
What do I love about John? He works extremely hard and does everything he can do for his family. Nothing is beneath him if it is going to help his family.
She's been amazing with not turning her back on me.
He's got a big heart. I was actually very shocked when he told me he had been in the Army infantry. Because I was like, what, you? Because he's so sweet and so caring. Wyakin means so much to me. They have created a support network for my husband. I don't know how to express how much that means to me and to our kids.
I am proud to be a Wyakin warrior.
It has shown that I can have more sense of pride for myself.
So we can make our community better, move forward, and create, build a life together.
We do good work here, and we're proud of it. But that doesn't tell the whole story. You see, in the end, it's not about the imprint that we leave on the veterans in our program. It's about the imprint that they leave on the world.